Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome back once again. We're going to take a look at another really slick little knife made by Michael Zieba. Now, if you've been a follower on my channel for any length of time, the name Zieba is not going to be a stranger to you. But this is quite a bit different than the other knives you typically see coming out of his shop. Now, Mike is known really for three types of EDC items: tactical knives, chef's cutlery, and accessories like really cool bronze beads and stuff like that. This is something that I don't really think you can call tactical. It's certainly not made for the kitchen, but it is going to be unique. First things first, this is the packaging you can expect with the MS3 Manhattan Special. The knife will be nestled in between the foam and a little red microfiber cloth. Now, for those that follow Mike's work very closely, you might look at this and go, well, Jim, this is not a new knife. He put one of these out over a year ago in a collaboration with Shinola. Well, he did. That was this one. And there are some subtle differences, and you're probably not going to pick up on them right away. The main things, and we want to look for the lightning bolt, was the Shinola collaboration, and those are very, very, very long gone. And his feather logo, which really only appears on his cutlery, is there. And here we have the standard Zieba logo like you would see on his more tactical knives. The main differences here, we'll start with the new features. That's probably the most important thing because you cannot get these anymore. These are sold out. On the new version, which will be an exclusive to Fort Henry Custom Knives, you want to make sure that you get your order in with Vince at Fort Henry Custom Knives. It's the only way to get this, and there's only going to be 100. So yeah, super limited. What are the differences? It's not a hell of a lot. Still the same basic overall knife build, except this one, the older version, was M390. The new version is going to be Nitro V at 59 Rockwell hardness. And the benefit to you as the user is the Nitro V is going to be a little bit easier for you to resharpen than M390 was. And it's not necessarily a complaint against M390, but it's a benefit of Nitro V over M390. Another thing, and it's going to be very difficult to see, but nope, actually it pops up right away. He has milled in these lightning pockets to reduce weight into the titanium frame. Now that was something that wasn't done on the Shinolas, I believe personally, because Shinola probably wanted to keep the cost down, so that was an extra process that took more time that they did not put into their model. Now that Mike is making his own custom variation, it does have those weight reducing pockets built in. These are all titanium frame locks, so both sides are titanium. You're going to be getting the custom titanium hardware, which, as you see, just like before, is anodized blue. Very nicely done. It's a very clean look. I love the contouring of the frame. For such a teeny tiny little knife, there's a lot of work that's been done on this little bugger. Got the jimping up here on the spine of the Nitro V blade. And then jimping all down the, I would say it's probably half-length back spacer, going all the way around. And the custom milled 3D sculpted titanium pocket clip. You're going to be getting into a 6 3/4 inch overall length and a 2 9/16 inch blade. Yes, it's just that tiny. Let's give you a good size comparison, shall we? We'll bring it up against more traditional Ziebas that we know and love. This is the S2. This was the prototype for the double tap, and then we'll put it up against the S5 Southern Star. And you see just how tiny it is. Let's put all these butt to butt like everything in the world should be. And there you have it. It's a very, very, very tiny little knife by way of comparison. But if you live in an area or work in an environment where discretion is key, where you don't need something big hanging out of your pocket, or if you're wearing, you know, shorts, something lightweight, maybe dress pants that are lightweight, you don't want the weight of this monster, you know, weighing you down, this is an excellent option. Yeah, I did. I caught myself there, didn't I? Oh well. That blade drops very, very fast on the S5. Be wary of that. So this is going to be more of a gentleman's knife. A true gentleman's knife wouldn't have a pocket clip. It would just go straight into the pocket. But this is a gentleman's knife with a pocket clip. Let's look at it that way. You're going to get ceramic detent and ceramic bearings. This little sucker flies open. You wouldn't think for such a small and thin blade, and definitely take a look at how thin that gets, that it would have a really great flipping action, yet it does. It's actually a phenomenal flipping action. These, by the way, are extraordinarily sharp. So one of the things that I like about Nitro V is it takes a super fine, a true razor edge. You can go down super thin on that, and it takes a great edge. Basically, Nitro V, you could think of it as AEBL on steroids. So it is a stainless steel. It takes an acutely fine edge, and it has really great edge retention, better edge retention than standard AEBL, and higher corrosion resistance than standard AEBL. So it's a really great steel. I use it in some of the knives that I make. I swear by it. I absolutely love it. It's not really a dream to work with. It's a belt eater. Once you've hardened it and you go back and grind it some more, you're going to eat up a lot of belts. But that's a worry of the knife maker, not of yours. So when you look at them side by side, you're not really going to see any differences. They're going to look the same. You're going to see a sharpening choil here, which for a lot of people is going to be a big deal. So this will be easier for you to resharpen depending on the kit that you're using. Whereas this one, the edge backs all the way up into the ricasso. That may have been problematic for some folks resharpening their blade. They're both full flat ground all the way up. And really, that's about it. It's got the lock bar relief in the same spot. Pocket clips are the same. The jimping on the flipper tab, which is an absolute necessity for this tiny little flipper tab, is the same. The back spacer, all the finishing. So the biggest deal is these are no more. And these, I think, might end up being worth a little bit of money because basically Shinola talked Mike into putting his feather logo on this knife because they liked it, and he only puts that on his kitchen knives. So this is his only quote-unquote tactical knife that has that on there. And then obviously the Shinola lightning bolt there. But this is the new variation for 2018, the end of 2018 now. With only 100 pieces being made available, only being made available to one dealer, which again was Fort Henry Custom Knives. These are going to come and go super fast. I would tell you right now, if you're at all interested in this, I would just shoot Vince an email or a message on Instagram and say, hey, you know, I just saw this thing. I've got to have one of these. Please put my name on one. And I'm quite certain that he'd be happy to do that. Now, is it a practical knife? Well, it really depends on what your needs are. When it comes down to it, I generally do not carry super tiny knives, but I also don't dress up that often. I don't have a need to. Now I can go sometimes for 2 weeks without shaving or putting, doing anything, doing anything with my hair or cutting my fingernails or anything else because I work. So everybody's lifestyle is going to be different. This would be a great church carry knife. You're dressed up for church, you want something slim, small, lightweight, discreet. This is certainly going to be a great option for that anytime that you're dressed up. Or it's the dead of summer, you're wearing lightweight shorts, maybe you are a member of an Eastern Bloc gang that is somewhere in New York City, and you guys all wear the running suits, the running pants, the running jackets. This might be a good thing for you to wear as well because it's lightweight. You don't want a lot of weight pulling down on those running pants now, do you? No, it's going to slow you down. It's going to pull those pants right around your ankles. You're going to fall and look like a fool. No gangster can look like a fool on the street. You should know that. You can think of a million different reasons. Or if you're just a small knife lover, this is going to be a really great knife for you. You know, there are a lot of times where you simply can't carry something this large, this thick, this foreboding, this heavy. That's a heavy knife in comparison to this. I mean, it's almost night and day. This is much more along the lines of what I would carry as an EDC, but I know a lot of people that can't carry a blade that large for the restrictions in their state. They don't want to carry something that large at work because it stands out. It's a, you know, quote unquote weapon. You know, the boss may not look at it as a tool like we do. They look at it as a weapon. This is just a sleek little toothpick of a folder right here, man. It's, I mean, look at it's almost like holding a pen. It's so tiny. It will take you a little bit of getting used to because it is just that small. I mean, it can be, you know, hidden away in the palm of your hand and you don't even know it's there. But what a great action. What a great feeling. And again, going back to the finish, that clean bead blasted finish on those fully contoured handles. Little pop of color with the blue anodized titanium hardware. And by the way, I don't know if we can quite get in there to see it. You'll see a little lip in there. This anodized blue screw holds in your steel lock bar insert. Even on a knife this tiny, this discreet, Mike still puts in the effort of putting a steel on steel lockup in this knife. Is it necessary? No, not really. Not really think about it. However, he tries to give you the most he possibly can for your money. And that's why, you know, forgetting all the numerous awards at this point, I can't even rattle off all the awards that Mike has won over the past few years, you know, from Blade Show and every other show that he's ever attended. He'll be going to the Paris show very shortly. But I think one of the reasons why his knives have become as popular as they have been is because A, they're beautifully designed, B, they're very, very well made, and C, in comparison to other knives using the same materials and the same, you know, basic idea of their build, his are always much more affordable. You know, a knife like this is going to run you $1,000 by almost any custom maker, and he wasn't selling them for anywhere near that much money. So his popularity has skyrocketed, particularly in the past 3 years. This little guy right here, $300. That's a fantastic deal. Now, it could be, you know, $315 or something. It's in that low $300 range. I believe it's right at $300. If you're looking for something wildly unique, something incredibly different, this might be a great way for you to go. We all have our 3.5 inch, 4 inch, 4 1/4 inch folders. We have flippers and manual folders and out the front automatics and side opening automatics and, you know, all these different styles of knives that we like to collect, carry, and use. And this may fill that niche in your collection that's currently has that void. You don't have a micro flipper. You don't have a little teeny thin stabby little knife like this. And I think it's a great way to go. Look at that. I'm attracted to how sleek it is. How sleek and slim. I've had this for somewhere around a year, I suppose. I think that was when these came out, was about a year ago. And admittedly, while I don't carry it very often, because again, my lifestyle dictates that I can carry a larger knife without an issue, but I have carried it and I've really enjoyed it. I've really liked having this teeny tiny little thing. It's like anything else that we're going to carry for EDC. Maybe you EDC a flashlight. Well, there are days that you can carry a nice big, like a Tane Corona, a nice big 18650 light, and there are going to be days that you can only carry a much smaller, lighter weight light, you know, like a barrel flashlight or a Hanko Trident or something. Or, you know, if you carry guns, there are days that, yeah, you can get away with carrying, you know, a Glock 17 or a Glock 19, but maybe there's going to be days that you need that Glock 43. You need something smaller and slimmer and lighter weight, easier to conceal, more discreet. Everybody has different needs. And this definitely suits people that may have a hard time finding that small, slender, discreet carry because there aren't really a hell of a lot of them out there, particularly from custom makers. And to get into something that you know is made by a true craftsman, probably one of the hardest working knife makers in the game today. I talk to Mike all the time, and there's always something going on. He's always developing several new models. He's always working on more accessories. He's always doing a big deal with this company to supply them with, 100 chef knives, or he's outsourcing new steels and new materials and new methods in which to finish his materials. He's out there doing that and sourcing all these wonderful things to bring us something that is quite a bit different from what everybody else is offering. He never rests. He literally works to the point of exhaustion. And it's crazy to watch him work and to see what he's developing. And every major show that he goes to, there's always something new and exciting that he's bringing out. And I got to tell you, this is one of those interesting, quirky little things that I believe more so the collectors will appreciate. If you're, more or less just a user and every single knife that you carry has a purpose and it's being used every day and you're doing a lot of cutting, no, this is probably not going to be for you. This is going to be for that type of person that has so many different types of knives and likes to experience many different types of knives, and this is just one other to experience. But I tell you this, once you've gotten it, and once you put it in your pocket and realize it just disappeared, man, I don't feel myself carrying this thing, it might be something that you reach for more and more and more often. So if that's the case, the MS3 Manhattan Special may be for you. Otherwise, it's just a beautiful piece to add to your knife collection, especially if you are a Zieba collector. If you already have a whole bunch of different Zieba knives, just like I do, I've got S2s, S3, S5s, I can't even, I've got bolds, a couple of kitchen knives. I have so many, I can't even keep count anymore. This is just another really great little artistic creation that I get to add to my ever-expanding Zieba collection. God, look how thin that is. Man, that is crazy. But again, beautiful little knife. If that's the kind of thing that interests you, then definitely go check these out. I love the way the blade disappears right into the frame. It's flush up here and then just tapers off gently. You're not going to snag your fingertips onto the tip of the blade. It's just a sweet little knife. If this is the kind of thing that appeals to you, you better hurry. With only 100 being offered, they're going to go fast. I mean, I never even bothered to do a video on this one because by the time I got mine, they were already mostly sold out. All I would have done is just piss people off by showing them something that they may have found really interesting and then poof! Yeah, sorry, you can't buy those. So, just trying to get this out there as quickly as I can. This just arrived yesterday. So that hopefully a few of you will have a fighting chance. There you go, guys. That is my quick little spiel on the MS3 Manhattan Special by my good buddy Michael Zieba. And stay tuned because I got some more goodies coming your way very, very soon. I'll see you guys on the next video.